game, and I was like, I've seen enough. I'm
I
okay.
had to follow it all the way to West Virginia. Do you understand that?
And
That
lost.
shit was on a Thursday night. I was like, you know
Nasty.
what? I'm
Wait, did
fine.
you go? You went to West Virginia?
That's where I was. That's why I couldn't pod. I was
Holy
in West
shit.
Virginia.
Yeah, I saw you posted, and I was like, that poor man.
I've been to West Virginia before. Not the coolest place you could go, especially to go watch your
Beautiful,
team lose.
Not the hotness.
beautiful stadium, beautiful country up there. They showed me a good time, but
The
like,
mountains are really pretty.
oh
but
brother, do I wish I hadn't have gone to fly into Pittsburgh Airport and then drive down to see us get curb stomped. No thanks.
Gave him fucking 43 points.
Oh man, yuck.
JT Daniels, get the fuck out of here.
Welcome to One Take Podcast. Welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 126. I'm Roy Ogletree. I'm joined by Tej and Dex. We're talking movies. We haven't talked movies in about a week and a half on this podcast because, like you've heard, I've been literally all over the planet, all over these great United States. Hadn't had time to watch movies. But luckily, streaming services are still pumping out the content that you and I all love. This week, we are talking about The Redeem Team, a subject that is actually probably near and dear to all of our hearts on this podcast. We love basketball. That's, make no mistake about it. The last thing we kind of did in this vein, we reviewed the Malice at the Palace documentary. Had a good time talking about. Yeah, had a good time talking about that. So yeah, let's just get a general sense real quick. First of all, how we doing? Are y'all as tired as I am? Holy shit.
no,
Yeah.
I just got done watching Game of Thrones, so I'm very wide right now because
Oh, cool.
the feeling has been restored, brothers.
Big high tower hours, baby. We out here.
I'm 3 episodes behind, so that's fun.
Oh my god, never mind. Bro. Catch up.
I binged it the other day and caught up almost, and then it just passed me by again. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. But let's get real quick. Let's get a sense of what this team or your relationship to those Olympics were, because I feel like this was an Olympics that our generation really paid attention to. And for Dex and I, we were going right into high school, or we're in junior high going into high school's area like that. So it was like all of these guys were our heroes at that point. So let's just kind of get a general sense. Tej, we'll start with you. What did you think? Not necessarily about the documentary, we'll get into that, but what's your relationship to this team and to those Olympics in 2008?
I remember it very well. I was 2008. Had just finished undergrad. I was finishing undergrad, so great time in my life. And I was very tuned into this Olympics, not just because I love the Olympics, but because of what happened in 2004 with the basketball team. It was major news, and I, for one, being a basketball fan, was like, we're not going out there to embarrass ourselves again. Like, we're not doing that this time. We don't have, there's no excuses this time. We got to go over there. We're sending pros now. We ain't even got to talk about no more, because there was so much stuff in 2004 where nobody wanted to be on the team, obviously. And it was like, they don't care about this because everybody just assumed that we would win no matter who we sent. We were that arrogant, and the players were that arrogant, and the people that ran USA basketball were that arrogant to think that you can just send any old body, just send like the 7th best dude on every NBA roster, and you go over there and you're going to beat these other pros from these other countries that have been playing together for years and years and years, and just give them like 2 weeks to practice and they'll be fine. And it's like, no, you actually can't do that. You actually just can't just send over a bunch of names over there. And so it was a great thing that happened because it really showed that the world basketball had arrived. So I was very tuned into this Olympics. And of course, by this time, I knew a lot of the international players. Like, people are going to forget there was like 2 or 3 years in the NBA, but Rudy Fernandez was just scorching people. Every 3 weeks or so, he would just have 50 points. Like, he was just that good. Like, people gonna forget. We are all Rockets fans, so we remember. But people forget how good Luis Scola really was because we didn't win a lot while he was here. We didn't like go deep in the playoffs, but Luis Scola was really good. Like, a very crafty really player.
Like
he was really like that. So to see these things in this documentary is just really cool. But I was very tuned into this Olympics. Even when they showed the parts of the opening ceremony, I very much remember watching that opening ceremony. Like, it was a big deal. It was in China, which was also its own separate thing, and also a big deal. And I was very tuned in. So this documentary was made for somebody like me who remembers that time pretty well.
Dex, what's your relationship to this Olympics, to that moment in time?
Yeah, I was like, I think I was going into 8th grade for when these Olympics happened. So like the whole China thing obviously didn't mean much to me. I was in fucking 8th grade, like I didn't care. But I just remember it being like we ran that summer, basically, is what it felt like. Looking back at the medal count, it's like, you know, China won way more gold medals than we did, but we won all the ones that mattered. Like Michael Phelps got his shit off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Usain Bolt, like he's not ours, but he's ours, you know, like
what?
Especially as a black person, it's like, yeah, Usain Bolt, that's ours. Like, you know what I'm saying?
The island nation of Jamaica would disagree with you and Tej.
I for sure love the island nation of Jamaica, and I love Usain Bolt. So I just want to make sure that's known on the record, by the way.
Yeah, me as an 8th grader watching Usain Bolt cook these fools, I was like, yeah, like run on, black man. Like, this is amazing. But yeah, it felt like we won everything that mattered, everything that I cared about anyway. And so like the Redeem team was definitely a big part of that. You know, it's all my favorite players in the NBA. Like pretty much every single player on that team, with the exception of like Carlos Boozer, was like somebody who I, you know, fucking loved. Like it's LeBron and Melo and fucking Wade and CP3 and like all these like people who are like the greatest of their generation now. Like they were at like the peak of their powers. Like you can still go to fucking Foot Locker and buy Melo sneakers that you saw him wear like in the goddamn Olympics, like just right then and there on the fucking shelves. Like you know, so that definitely was like a major part of me like being the basketball fan that I am now, like getting to watch this team in real time. And like, yeah, I'll just never forget about it, man. It was dope.
I remember, yeah, because I was going into high school. I was going into my freshman year of high school. So I remember understanding a little bit about the geopolitics of it all, but even then that was in the back of my mind. I just remember we were on like a fishing trip, and for some reason that weekend was the weekend that all of these huge matches happened. And like, it was so funny because they would happen in like the middle of the day. They would broadcast these things actually live, I remember. And then so it would be like we would stop doing whatever we were doing in our tracks to watch basketball, to watch Michael Phelps. And there was a sense of, it was like one of the few times growing up post 9/11 like that I felt like a unique sort of national oneness, I guess, like a common goal. Like we're gonna whoop ass in this Olympics. Like that's what we're gonna do, and we're all gonna. There's this common like goal to strive for, and for some reason that all brought together that, and it was really interesting. It was a really interesting time to be an American and watch this, and for basketball, it was almost the changing of the guard, because you go and you look at it, and we'll talk about it in the documentary. Kobe was a huge part of that team. Obviously, he was the catalyst of that team. But LeBron James, by and large, was the best player to touch the floor every single night for that team. And it was really like a 24-year-old LeBron James coming out party almost on a global scale. And so that was, I think, that when even casual fans, like, as I was always a Rockets fan, but never really a huge like NBA fan, that was when I started getting into the playoffs and into following where people went in free agency and all of that stuff. And that really was sort of the catalyst for that on a global scale. And that got me into basketball even heavier. And so I think watching those games and just how dominant they were, man, it was embarrassing up until that very last game. Mm-hmm. Like They're like,
Cooking.
oh, they gave us fits in like the third quarter. You're like, shut up. Like they didn't like I remember Dwayne Wade throwing a behind the back alley oop to Kobe like out of bounds. Like I remember that. And I remember the
we'll
games.
talk about it, but I remember like watching this documentary and being like, "Oh, they're making these games seem like way more competitive than they were." Like, nah, fam. Like, we
Final
cooked
score
these dudes.
125 to 86. You're like, oh, okay. But and I remember too, like, yeah, they struggled a little bit in the FIBA lead up, but like I do remember the lead ins to that, and subsequently the 2012 ones where a lot of the same guys came back, where it was like it was like watching an and one mixtape. The highlights were like watching, they were just literally throwing alley-oop dunks over people that like it really, like, I don't want to besmirch FIBA basketball, but it really was a completely different sport that once the Americans got like in tune with one another, it really was just a completely different sport to watch. They were playing so much faster, so much bigger than the rest of the competition. It was incredible.
Literally, we were just like, "We're better than you." Like that's just
Yeah.
it. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
like,
So I don't know if I necessarily recognize the grandness of the 2004 of it all, and how disappointing that necessarily would be, and how kind of embarrassing that actually was if you go back and you think about it. But I did at the time realize how big like all of these players coming together was, but maybe not so much what they go into in the documentary about the 2004 team and what that all meant. To be honest, I had even forgotten, like I kind of knew that Melo was on that team. I forgot LeBron was on that team, on the 2004 team. Yeah.
I remember the 2004 debacle really well, but I that was when I was in high school, and I was aware of kind of the geopolitical landscape of it, but I don't think I knew like they literally didn't they slept on a cruise ship and didn't sleep in the Olympic Village, and like everywhere they went they had to have security. I didn't remember that part of it, but I just remember we went over there and we were trashed from the beginning. As soon as the Olympics started, we were asked, and it was like, oh shit, this team is not good. Like this team is ass. Darren Williams is out here struggling. Like this team is not it, bros. And they didn't even think about the kids on the bench. We knew Melo was good and LeBron was good, but they barely played. Like Larry Brown was about to play those kids. Larry Brown don't even play kids in the NBA. He's like, fuck these kids. I want the veterans out there. Larry Brown was old and haggardly, and he stunk it up.
Larry Brown comes out looking like terrible in this documentary, to be completely honest with you.
As he should.
Legendary coach, but he comes out looking awful. Okay, so let's get into the actual documentary. The Redeem Team, 2022, came out a couple of weeks ago, 7.5 on IMDb. Follows the story of the 2008 U.S. Olympic men's basketball team, known now as the Redeem Team, and men's basketball team, and how the quote-unquote Redeem Team set a new standard for American basketball. It was directed by John Weinbach. If I remember correctly, what did he do? He did The Last Dance. So the makers of The Last Dance put this together as well. And you can see, I mean, they have a knack for this. They're really, really good at it. Stars LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Dwight Howard, Jerry Colangelo makes an appearance. Pau Gasol actually makes an appearance, which is really cool. Doug Collins has a big part in this, actually. And then,
which is
of
something
course,
I knew nothing about before this.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that. But the big one here is who comes out. You know, this might be sacrilege for me, but because I hate him. Mike Krzyzewski has a huge role in this, and he comes out looking great. To be completely honest with you, like this is the most I've ever liked Coach K out of this documentary.
Literal American hero. I'm glad that the rest of y'all can finally see what
some
of us have already seen.
Hey, bro, I give it to him now that he's gone and left us alone. Finally, after
he went home,
coach at Duke my entire
now that he's
goddamn
gone.
life. Yeah, now that he's retired, hey, give him his flowers. Good for him. Appreciate it.
Did that whole thing. All right, thank you, kind sir.
You did your duty for America again.
I think this was produced in part. I mean, of course, LeBron has his hands on everything now.
LeBron and Maverick Carter.
But yeah, LeBron and Maverick Carter.
LeBron will never be in a movie or documentary that he did not produce himself.
Right. Dwayne Wade also helped produce this as well. And also Frank Marshall, who I believe, if this is the same Frank Marshall, this is the guy from behind. He's been nominated for 5 Oscars. He's behind like Indiana Jones and like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and a bunch of other stuff. He's like
Indiana Jones was nominated for Oscars.
Yeah, the first one was.
Huh.
They like racist movies, especially back then. Extremely racist films. That was their bag.
The Sixth Sense, Seabiscuit, Curious Case of Benjamin Button, The Color Purple. So he's a long time, I think, Spielberg guy as well, too. So that name flashing up there is very interesting. Has a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 95% audience score. Let's see what the critics' consensus is. I don't think it actually has one. But that's interesting. Let's look at the one rotten review, shall we?
Oh, God. We're about to hear from a hater.
From Alan French from Sunshine State Cineplex. There's a stunning lack of insight into the events. It feels like a puff piece meant to valorize a select few instead of showing an honest depiction of a moment that would change basketball. What
the hell is this, bros? We don't like you guys at the Sunshine State, whatever the hell you are. We don't like you guys.
State Cineplex. Cool.
You guys stink at the State Cineplex. I bet you the theater's not that good.
So, Dex, go ahead, man. What do you think about the documentary? Of course, give it a letter grade. Oh,
no, you froze.
There you go.
Okay, now you're there. Nope. Why don't I go first while Dex is freezing?
Okay.
Hello.
Let's let Tej go and let you get your internet back up real quick. Go ahead, Tej.
All right. I had a great time watching this. Obviously, like I said, this is something that was close to me. I was very familiar with the topic matter, but I also learned a lot. There was a lot of stuff that I didn't know or didn't remember. The Doug Collins piece of it was new to me. The way in which he was motivating them by bringing in people who had been to war. Obviously, I knew about Coach K's military background, but to know that that's how they were inspiring the players, kind of starting in the 2004 and starting before and showing like that history of USA basketball and how dominant we were before we started using pros, before the Dream Team, and then with the Dream Team. I just thought they did a really good job of laying it out. And you're helped out because you have very compelling people to talk to. You literally have an interview with Kobe Bryant, who's just an amazing person to listen and talk to about basketball. You have LeBron James, you have Dwayne Wade, you have Carmelo Anthony, who's just like the most hilarious person in the film. And then you have Carlos Boozer, who's a Duke Blue Devil, but really we didn't really need to hear from him, but like he's there too. And I just thought they did a good job. Obviously, the Coach K stuff is always going to hit me in the feels. The stuff with Kobe and his daughter I thought they did a pretty good job of like showing you this stuff and you know why you're seeing it, but not like making
trying to happy birthday thing.
You don't have to say anything about it. Just play the video and it's going to make you emotional. It made me cry hearing them sing happy birthday to Kobe when he's holding his daughter. Like they knew what that stuff was going to do to you, but they didn't have to. You didn't have to have a separate interview portion where LeBron is talking about how much he misses Kobe or how much he enjoyed meeting Kobe's daughter. Like they just played this video of like, this is a story about the Redeem Team, but we know that this is a part of the story that you all will appreciate. I thought it was very good. They did it in a subtle way. I just enjoyed the documentary. It's a very quick watch. It's awesome. And the whole world, young people need to see who Rudy Fernandez really was. And it's a shame that he didn't become who he was supposed to come in the league because he dealt with a lot of injuries. But my God, man, he had the whole USA team, and it's just he had the whole team in hell, bro. He's dunking on him like and that's like I thought they did a really good job of understanding the underlying why this is important. This whole story isn't just important because the USA won again. The importance of the story is how world basketball has taken over. The world basketball scene has rivaled the U.S. basketball scene. I've been to basketball games in Barcelona. You've never seen anything like it before. Like the people love basketball around the world. And, there are people that are born with the X gene, but not everybody born with the X gene to play basketball is born in America. And because basketball has become so popular worldwide, people that have the X gene to be NBA players are also being born elsewhere. Everybody wants to draft Victor how do you say his name? Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
He looks like the next great thing. This is the biggest prospect that we've ever seen since LeBron James was born in France. Like in France, basketball is very important. I've gone to Paris and gone to go see basketball. And I went to literally the hood, like in Paris, to go watch them hoop. And there was some real hoopers in there. Like they take basketball very seriously. So to see the world be introduced to the fact of like, even though there's this team that we created that has all your favorite players on it, it don't mean they're just going to go over there and clean up. I mean, they did go over there and clean up, but like it wasn't a sure thing because of what we had just seen in 2004. That 2004 team was getting ran like off the floor. Like them dudes were dancing on our graves. So it's just, it's such a cool way to present the story and to drive the point home of like these international dudes that are dropping into the NBA don't just come from nowhere. They're playing international basketball, and international basketball has a ton of talent in it, and some of them are making it to the NBA. But even the ones that you don't ever see in the NBA are super talented guys, and they can build teams too. And international basketball is just fun as hell. The Olympics is fun as hell, so they had a lot to work with. But I would give it an A. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that they made it, and I'm glad that I watched it.
Luis Scola put his nuts in Tayshaun Prince's face. That's insane.
He was going crazy. And Tayshaun Prince is a great defender, and it didn't matter.
Disrespected Richard Jefferson so much. Oh my god, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, go ahead, Dex. Follow it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it an A+. I got exactly what I was looking for out of this documentary. You know, Netflix tells me they're dropping a Redeem Team documentary, and I'm like, sign me the fuck up. I wasn't disappointed. You know, I appreciated them really like taking their time to tell the whole story because, like I said, I really didn't know that much about the whole 2004 debacle. I knew that we didn't win like we were supposed to, but I didn't really have like a good like context for just how dominant we used to be back in the day and like how ass we were in 2004 and like in FIBA and stuff like leading up to that. Because I'm like, you know, I'm in elementary school. I'm not watching fucking FIBA World Championships, you know? Like,
they didn't even, did they really even televise them?
Couldn't tell you, don't remember. But like I wasn't paying attention.
Remember.
Like, we didn't win the FIBA World Championship. Fuck. It's like, you know.
Well, because now that's like primetime ESPN.
Yeah. But you know, as a sixth grader, I'm like, whatever, you know, like I don't care. Wake me up when it's the Olympics. But now, you know, I pay attention to this shit and I can tell you all about Eurobasket and shit like that. But you know, I didn't have that context before watching it. I really appreciated that. Coach K came up looking great out of this. Gave me a lot of respect for him as a coach, honestly, that I didn't have before because he's always just been the guy who coached Duke that I hated. And, you know, it as a fan, it kind of felt like, oh, they just went and built the greatest super team possible. They just threw them together and rolled the ball out there, and that was it. And they went and won. Like, nah, like Coach K put in a lot of work. You know, it was a lot of great coaching that like got them to play as well as they did, got them to kind of buy in and transform the way they played and learn the game and all that. So appreciated that part of it. And then obviously, man, anytime you see Kobe Bryant talking about basketball, it's beautiful. It was beautiful when he's alive, and it's even more beautiful now that he's gone. Like, and you know, it's heartbreaking, but it's also kind of amazing. Just always looking back on his life and how much life he really lived. Like, even though he died at like 41, you know, he accomplished so much, did so much. Like, he did a lot more in his life than, you know, most people who live to be, you know, 75, 80 years old. Like Kobe Bryant did like so much. Like, and he was my favorite player growing up. And anytime you get to kind of revisit some of that, it's always dope. So I love this documentary. I'll probably end up watching it again, like a few years down the line, just to like pump myself up for the Olympics and like shit like that again. Cause it's really good. So A+ for me.
Yeah, I'll give it an A. It didn't like break a ton of new ground. It told me things that I didn't know just because I was young and uninformed. And I think that's probably more who this is probably for. It's more of like a time capsule of what happened, other than like a, you know, even The Last Dance was it was Jordan propaganda manicured by Jordan, but it did reveal some things that like I think a bunch of people didn't know, like him fighting his teammates and all that, you know, stuff and the quote unquote flu game and food poisoning and what everybody thought about that. But this is more of a here's how it kind of rolled out and here's what we remember about it and here's why we did it this way. And I really appreciated that. Very quick, hour 30 maybe, even less, which 30 for 30 documentaries got it on tight, and this is basically what this is. This is basically like a heightened 30 for 30 documentary, and we all love those. Most of them are at least watchable. This is beyond that. I think it's very well put together. I think they use the archival footage of Kobe Bryant very tastefully. They were able to somehow incorporate that without it feeling like we're trying to, for lack of a better term, bring somebody back from the dead. I guess like it really was well done and well incorporated into the documentary. I think all the players were shockingly very open about stuff. I mean, like
Definitely.
LeBron James he's based his whole brand now on that, even though he's like a generational liar, but like he has based his whole brand on talking about things that has gone on in his career.
Generational liar is hilarious, man.
He is a generational liar where he's like, you just go watch The Shop, and he's like, that's my favorite quote. You're like, no, it's not.
No, it's not LeBron.
Come on, you don't have to lie to my face. Like, it's my favorite book. Okay, sure. Like yeah. So he's funny to watch, and he's sort of transitioned into this media personality too. And obviously, he's going to be the front-facing owner of a team one day, and people in the media. He's trying to get as many people in the media on his side as humanly possible, even though there's this weird love-hate with LeBron.
LeBron pays everybody's bills.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and I think he realizes that. But he was surprisingly candid in this, and it's always funny to hear people who you don't expect to like just drop F-bombs in the middle of an interview. Like, okay, cool, that's fun. Yep. We're having fun here. The funniest part to me, Chris Bosh was hilarious. He's always a great interview. If you haven't ever watched any like Chris Bosh's interviewed or listened to him on a podcast or anything, he's really, really good. He was always the third banana on that team, on that Heat team.
Mm-hmm.
But you forget how cool and awesome he was at basketball, especially. But even since then, and he got cut a hard break with the end of his career too, and his, I believe, heart problems. But he seems to be like just thriving and doing well, and he's really funny to listen to talk about basketball.
I think it was a lung thing. Like,
was it a lung thing?
In his lung or something? I feel like that's what it was.
Yeah, he got dealt. I mean,
a blood-related thing. Yeah, I think he's dealing with blood clots, and they were like, "No, this will kill you. You actually can't play anymore."
Yeah, and he was only like 32 or something when that happened. So, yeah, all these guys are young still, kind of relatively. Dwayne Wade, of course, he's always been pretty candid about his life and stuff too, and that was in the documentary about dealing with his injury history. The person that comes out looking the best in this is Mike Krzyzewski. Like, as much as I hate it, RMPMP to my agenda. He knows how to coach basketball.
Coach K, good coach. We
Coach
all found
K
out.
confirmed knows how to coach. Who would have thought? But he also, like, bringing in Mike D'Antoni, who coached in Italy and those things and knew about the European game, and bringing in those motivators, even though like how much is this going to translate from the military to this and that to pro athletes who are making the millions of dollars and stuff. Apparently it worked, I guess. They
hit way different in 2008. It was a different time, man.
Yeah. It's completely, like you're still fighting over in the Middle East, and it's a completely different view of that whole situation. But I just think
Obama is about to get elected or just got elected or whatever. Like, I don't remember the exact time. It's in the summer, so he was about to get elected. Everybody's hopeful. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
So
they're singing the national anthem with all their hearts and shit. Like still at that point,
Right.
it's a little different now. But
we're a little bit more jaded. We're a little jaded here in 2022, but this is the most
yeah,
like
we done seen some shit now. Like,
Janganistic, like that's how we're kind of feeling at this point. But I just think it was a well put together, not even expose, but just look back in time capsule of what this actually was. And it's cool to see the thought behind how good basketball works. If you're a fan of basketball, like you'll love this documentary. I think that's the biggest praise I can give it. If you love the sport, like watch this documentary. And it definitely is I remember that guy. I remember, but it is fun. It is fun to watch. And Tej, you're spot on. Bruno Fernandez had those dudes. Rudy Fernandez, not Bruno Fernandez. Sorry, he's on the Rockets, right? Like, but Rudy Fernandez had those dudes in the torture rack. That was unbelievable. He was taking step back threes. He had the game. He was having an out of body experience.
He was out of his mind.
Best player I've ever seen, dunking on people. Like, oh man,
bro, going back and forth shot for shot with like LeBron and Kobe and Melo and shit is insane. Like, obviously he lost, but goddamn,
yeah,
I'm telling everybody about that for the rest of my fucking life.
You wouldn't believe what I did. Still playing too. Still playing in FIBA.
That's incredible. I think
Scola is still out here too at like 42 years old.
Right? Just doing baby hooks.
Legendary.
Up and unders. Oh, well, I said the best part of the documentary. She said the best part of the documentary is seeing Kobe Bryant literally be like a Western, like the hired gun. That is insane to watch in real time happen, because they're like, we need a tough guy. We need a ringer. Who's it gonna be? Oh, Kobe Bryant. Like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Kobe was insane. Kobe was an actual insane person, bros. Like,
bro, them being like, we went out to the club. We came back at like 4 in the morning. Kobe Bryant's like in the elevator about to go to practice and shit. We were like, what the
those are the stories that your coaches always told me. My coach always told me the story of like when Kobe would take his family to Disneyland, he would get up and go work out at Disney, like Wide World of Sports gym or whatever, and then come back, have a full day with his family, and then go work out again. You're like, no way. No way. You're just lying. Yeah, you're lying to get us to come in here into the gym or whatever. But everyone to a man in this documentary is like, nah, he
was built different.
Yeah.
We were wasted, and he was literally on his way to the gym. Like,
I love Melo being like, hey, 4 a.m. was way too fucking early for me. I wasn't doing that shit.
Yeah, Melo's like, I'm not going to lie to y'all right now. I'll tell you I was up at 4 a.m. with Kobe. I made it there about 5:30, 6 o'clock, but I'm not going to tell you I was up there.
That's the most honest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Melo, I think people give Melo a bad rap just because of how his career is kind of panned out. But good Lord Almighty, that guy is funny to listen to. He is really open and honest about kind of his life, and obviously he's written a book, I believe, too. But yeah, he's just like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
Kobe's power of inspiration could not inspire Melo to wake up at 4 a.m. Not even Kobe could get Melo to do that, bro. I'm sorry. No.
Another takeaway that I had from this before I wrap up my review, Carlos Boozer is also in this documentary.
Duke legend.
Yes. Okay, cool. I know why they included him. He was the other one. He was the other guy with Melo and LeBron that were on that 2014 that carried over to the 2008 team. And obviously, Carlos Boozer had the Rockets in hell on those Utah teams for
a couple years,
a millennia.
Yeah.
But it is funny to just be like LeBron James, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer's here.
Yeah, man. Like once you're like once I remember you as like a Utah Jazz player, you're dead to me. It's like, there are a few people who like have gone through the Jazz or whatever, just like I think Carl Landry, Rockets legend. He played for the Jazz for a little bit.
Rockets legend.
He's still Carl Landry, Rockets legend. You know what I'm saying? If I remember you as a Jazz player, like you're dead to me. I don't want to hear you talk about anything. I'm sorry. Donovan Mitchell, you're cooked forever.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see the whole what was it? The we got cheated by Russia thing, the Doug Collins of it all.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Never
about
knew that story.
Never knew
Oh,
that
yeah,
story. So that was
that's
interesting
real
to
deal.
have them throw that in there of like this motivated us as well. I think it was more the 2004 stuff actually motivated you, but like it was like, but it was interesting because I had never heard that story. And I will say, just as far as the documentary looks, that restored footage that they took from that and made it ultra like HD and stuff.
Yeah, they looked awesome.
Really looked really incredible. It was really cool to look at. It's very smooth, very interesting to watch. But so yeah, there was the Doug Collins bit of it all, and I think altogether it just is a documentary that you will be able to watch. I think again and again if you are a fan of the sport, if you're a fan of international basketball, and if you're a fan of a lot of people are just fans of Olympic basketball, which is interesting to say. Like not even like of the NBA, just of like of Olympic basketball or of that brand or of the Olympics in general. Like people don't watch sports until the Olympics, which is an interesting choice, but it's things that people do. But like, yeah. So as a document for a moment in time, I don't think you can get much better than this. I give it an A.
Guys, I'm not ready for the Kobe Bryant documentary. I realized that after having watched this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be a fucking mess watching the Kobe.
don't-
And I
I
wasn't
don't
even
know
a
if I can
Kobe
do it,
stan
man.
like Dex was, but oh my god, I'm gonna be emotional. But I was crying in the club when they showed Kobe and his daughter, and they did it twice, and I was really crying in the club both times, bro. It was not easy to watch that stuff. And I would I was never Kobe hype like that. I actually hated Kobe for most of his career. I liked the Kobe came back and dropped 55 in his last game. That was fucking awesome. But most of
I mean,
his years,
him
he
hitting
grew up
walk-off shots
torturing
against the
me.
Rockets, like no thanks,
Yeah,
man. Ugh.
I was not down with Kobe, and I really do love not to be disrespectful to anyone, but when they talk about when Kobe enters the documentary, which is about 20, 25 minutes in, they're talking about the nexus point where Kobe was in his career, and we know as people who are basketball fans what was happening at that time that they don't mention because obviously they want to be respectful to Kobe's memory, but like we know what was happening around that time. Yeah, there was the whole Lakers drama, but that's not the real drama that was happening in his life. He was going through a crisis legally and in his marriage. So those were the things that he was really dealing with. So to just see his behavior and the way that he was interacting with the media and the people of China, like during this time of his life, was just fascinating to me, knowing that subtext that they don't say, but we all know what was happening around that time.
It really plays out like nobody has ever made a better career decision than Kobe Bryant in that moment. And they kind of say as much. And he won the MVP the next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What a way to get people back on your side. Like you need some positive press. Go be the best player for America, where everybody across the nation is forced to root for you and watch you dominate for at least a couple weeks. It was a great PR move, and it was great for his career. And
did he win the MVP going into that summer, or did he win?
I think it's after
2008. Let me look at his basketball reference. But yeah, he let's see. He won in 07, 08.
Oh, so he won before.
Yeah. Oh, he won right that. Well, that kind of is interesting. But yeah, so he won the MVP. He comes in, and all of a sudden, but people do forget, like going into those FIBA games and things like that, 06 and 07. Shaq is gone. He hasn't won a championship without Shaq. He's on those Laker teams stinky. Those Laker teams were not good.
This is the Smush Parker era.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Woo.
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown. Like he's asking to be traded in parking lots on the Stephen A. Smith
Bynum,
show.
Smush Parker. Well, those were the fun Lakers teams. Those are my favorite Lakers teams right there, bro.
Hey, bro, Andrew Bynum turned it around. NBA champion.
That's true.
He turned it around for a little bit. Then he fell off the map.
The amount of disdain that Kobe had for those centers that weren't Shaq. It just was like,
and those centers that were Shaq.
Yeah.
And
Shaq.
Except for Powell. He hated everyone.
Pau Gasol, the man. Like, but everybody else, fuck him. Shout out to the brief Andrew Bynum renaissance we had during the pandemic. That was a thing. Like,
Oh, where he was like telling all about it.
yeah, Andrew Bynum was back in the streets for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? People were talking about him and caring about what he had to say about things.
Was it didn't
strange moment in the
Kwame come
pandemic.
out and like talk
No,
about
he means
stuff on
Kwame
his-
Brown, not
Oh,
Andrew Bynum. Kwame
okay,
Brown
okay,
was the
yeah,
one
Kwame, yeah.
It was Kwame Brown.
jumping in front of the IG Live saying all the crazy shit he was saying. Yeah, Kwame Brown was basically like, yeah, y'all think I'm a bust, but fuck y'all. And I was like, okay, thank you for
I'm
that.
a millionaire. Like shit.
Yeah.
Like
I bought my mom my house. It's like, yeah, we figured you. I mean, you made a
yeah,
lot
I
of
hope
money.
so.
Nobody ever
Country
said
as
you didn't make
hell.
any money.
All that money you stole.
I do love this on Kobe Bryant's on his basketball reference. It has all these Hall of Fame, 18-time All-Star, 2-time scoring champ, 15-time All-NBA, 2008 MVP, Finals MVP, and then it has 2018 Oscar on his basketball reference page.
Hell
what
yeah.
a badass.
Academy Award winner, baby. The
Yeah.
short film was super
Best short
fire,
film.
by the way.
Best short film. Oh, you watched it?
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good.
I hadn't seen it. But so yeah, he comes in, he rejuvenates his kind of his image. Obviously, he just won the MVP going into these Olympics. He's the biggest star in basketball. So I wish they would have gone into a little bit more how big that was in China. Like they did it a little bit. They spent maybe like
That was one of my favorite
or-
parts of it. Him walking around the streets like fucking Michael Jackson. Like, he
Man.
can't go anywhere. That shit was dope, man.
like they did that a little bit more in the MJ doc, but like that would have been interesting. I mean, obviously they don't have Kobe to talk to about the psyche of it all, but like that was intense. They were taking pictures of the bus because Kobe Bryant was in the bus. You
Yeah,
know?
Like
I
LeBron James
honestly-
is right there, and they're just like, "Yeah, move, LeBron. I'm trying to get an autograph from Kobe." Like, it's like not even close.
Like, I knew Kobe was stupid popular in China, but I assumed like all of them were. Like, I thought
Yeah.
like LeBron and Kobe were on the same level in that way. I had no idea that fucking Kobe was the man out there like that.
I know this is how time works, and it's really funny to kind of look back, but looking back on LeBron James' career, how young he was whenever he accomplished everything. Dude was 24 years old, 23, 24
Mhm.
years old. Just schooling the best in the world on a basketball stage.
I kind of liked how they did the dynamic between, obviously, for this team to work. Like, okay, there's a debate going on about LeBron being the new king or Kobe being the old king, and it's like now we have to put these two people on the floor, and it's like they don't really know each other. Like they've met, but they don't really know each other, so you don't know how this is going to go. But obviously, LeBron just had a winning personality, and it just made everything smooth over. Plus, Kobe was always going to be the alpha. And even if LeBron James thought that he was going to go over there and be the alpha, once he realized what was happening when they got off the bus and all the people were screaming for Kobe and just ignoring him, basically, he had to have known that, like, all right, well, this is going to be Kobe's team. And that's what it ended up being. But it's just fascinating to see, like, all these dudes are alphas, but all of a sudden now you're going to put all these dudes on one team. Who's going to be the top dog? Who's going to be the guy? And, Kobe was that guy without ever having to say it, which is probably his problem that he had with Shaq. But he's like, I just feel like I should be the guy. I shouldn't have to say that I'm the guy. And Shaq was always like, I'm the guy. This is my team.
Yeah.
And that's why that shit didn't work.
Can we talk about how interesting this team was, like, conceived? Hold on, their roster, because it's like 13 small forwards and and Dwight Howard. Hold on, let me see. Let me look at this. Let me look at this roster.
It is unfair that they had Dwight in his prime and LeBron and it becoming in his prime and Kobe in his prime. That is unfair, bro.
Okay, so here's who all made the trip. Carlos Boozer, obviously, a forward. They had Jason Kidd, Hall of Famer, LeBron James, arguably the best player in NBA history. This is interesting. Darren Williams and Michael Redd. People forget how nasty Michael Redd was before his
nasty,
He
bro.
was that
knees
guy,
exploded.
bro.
Michael Redd used to get buckets. You walk to the gym, get buckets no matter who's in the gym, bro. Michael
Bucks
Redd was a
legend.
certified bucket getter.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade, Hall of Famer. Kobe Bryant, arguably one of the 10 greatest players of all time. Dwight Howard, Hall of Famer. Chris Bosh, Hall of Famer. Chris Paul, Hall of Famer. Tayshaun Prince, and then Carmelo Anthony, Hall of Famer. Tayshaun Prince, also an all-star and a champion. Like, good Lord Almighty.
Dwight Howard, MVP.
Oh yeah, was he the MVP at that? Was he going to win an MVP, or did he win an MVP?
Didn't Dwight win it? I know he went to the finals. I don't know. Maybe he didn't win the MVP, but he went to the finals.
I know he's like defensive player of the year. I don't think he ever won an MVP.
No, he's an 8-time All-Star, 2-time, or 8-time All-NBA.
Okay, never mind. He didn't win the MVP.
Defensive player of the year, but he was at that time. People forget the best center in the NBA.
Definitely.
So generational.
He was nasty.
It's so weird how this team is constructed because technically you have, I guess Chris Bosh can play center, but you have one true center out of all of them. They're like, this is how we're going to win. Like, we're just going to win with a bunch of forwards.
Coach K said, I have the best 3-point guards in the league. Can you imagine that? Like, the best 3-point. There was a time where Darren Williams, people thought he was the best point guard in the league, in the same league where Jason Kidd was still playing and Chris Paul was playing. I used to have an argument with one of my homeboys about who was the better point guard, Darren Williams or Chris Paul. That
was a thing.
We would talk about this every day, every fucking day. I said, you see what Darren Williams did last night? Darren Williams is really him. Like, this team is just it's completely loaded, and so it's an interesting challenge of how do you tell a story about a super team, because you're not. The best documentaries are about underdogs, people that nobody thought could do it, and you watch them as they finally get it, and you finally realize they can do it. And so doing a story about a team that is this fucking stacked is not an easy thing to be able to tell a compelling story, but they really found a way to do it, and I appreciate that.
It's also telling a story of we know the result,
Yeah.
And a lot of sports documentaries are this way unless it's about some niche European soccer match that we've never heard of. But like it is interesting. We all know the result. We all know that they whipped ass for 5 straight weeks. Like we all know what happened. But the compelling part was the final game, because that last game was close because Fernandez decided he was going to walk on water. And
he's like, I ain't going outside. Like,
yeah,
y'all ain't beating our ass again.
But it is worth noting that who was on that Spain team too. That final game was 118-107. This isn't current right now. It's like Willie Hernan Gomez and Juan Hernan Gomez. That's not who we're talking about.
Obviously you got Pau and Fernandez.
Yeah, so you have Pau, Fernandez. You have a young. You have both Gasol brothers.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mark was there too.
Who Mark ended up being a first? Was he a first? No, an early second-round draft pick.
Turned out to be really fucking good.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you, but he's good.
But he wasn't Mark. He wasn't the Marc Gasol
he wasn't Marc
from
Gasol,
Memphis
though.
yet. He wasn't him yet.
Let's see. So they had Pau Gasol, Rudy Fernandez, who's a longtime NBA player, or not a longtime NBA, but was drafted in the NBA, was buckets for Portland back in the day.
Yep.
A 16-year-old Ricky Rubio.
Oh wow, he's a baby.
Yeah. No, he was 18 at the time. 17. Marc Gasol, and a host of other players, but it is. Oh yeah, Jose Calderon, who was literally just the wettest player of all time.
Honestly, you could tell me he's still in the league today, and I'd be like, yeah, makes sense.
So all it really is where the game had come from. And okay, this is one of my favorite parts of the documentary. Coach K just feeding the beast and just straight up lying is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Hey Kobe, they talking shit, bro. You gonna
Kobe? They're saying
to you.
They're saying Manu Ginobili is better than you. Everybody's saying this.
I'm sure I've said that, or at least heard people say that. But I hated Manu and Kobe equally, so that's never what I would have been saying. Now, if you give me a T-Mac in there, I would have definitely been throwing some shit around about T-Mac. but not Manu. I hated Manu because he played for the Spurs. So I just find it's very funny that Coach K was just like, "Yo, Dwayne Wade, they said Manu's better than you." Dwayne Wade's like, "What?"
Who's saying that? It's like one newspaper clipping.
But
One troll on a blog said that, and Coach K was just like, "Hey, look, they're saying he's better than you." And that's all Dwayne Wade needs to see to go fucking crazy.
From like the San Antonio Express News, is Manu Ginobili better than like, what are we talking about here, Coach?
That would never work these days. LeBron would have been like, "Yeah, I know where Skip Bayless's Twitter account is too, Coach. I don't care about this shit. I don't care about this shit at all."
Yeah, it's an incredible coaching tactic. Just to be like, "Hey, bro, I don't know if you'll be in these Twitter spaces after the game, but they talking big shit."
I just found that hilarious because Manu led that Argentina team. They won gold in 2004, correct?
Yep.
Argentina,
yeah. So they won gold that year, obviously with other NBA players, but like, and Manu Ginobili's Hall of Famer, but like Manu versus, come on, we're talking about somebody that may not even rank in the top 50 all time of NBA players versus Dwayne Wade. Like, what are we talking about?
Hey, bro. Hey, D Wade. They in the group chat saying you just fucking hyped up TJ Ford. Like, I don't know if you let him talk about you like that. I wouldn't take that disrespect, me myself, but that's what they saying.
All they're saying about D Wade, Dwayne, all they're saying about you is that you just run and dunk. That's all they're saying.
No bag, bro. They said you ain't got no bag. You can't shoot the three. Like, you gonna let them talk shit about you like that?
It really was like Dwayne Wade wasn't a good shooter for his NBA career, something like 29% or something. He was not very good, but like he went off in the from like downtown. He shot like 45%, if I remember correctly. I mean, like there's a template with these stats. Hold on, I should have had this pulled up. It was obviously that LeBron James was the best overall around player. You could tell that Kobe Bryant was a leader. Dwayne Wade went off and averaged the most points per game, all because he scored like 25 in that fourth quarter or something. Let me see. Redeem Team stats. Let's see. United States basketball. Dwayne Wade. Yeah, not a three-point shooter. He shot 47% from three.
God
That's
damn.
insane.
LeBron James also like is a better three-point shooter historically. 40, but not as good. 46%.
They were over there hitting everything. Those
Throwing it into the ocean.
God damn.
Couldn't make a free throw though. LeBron shot under 50. Yuck, LeBron. He shot under 50% from free throw.
Ew.
But
Hey, can't do it in the big moments. Never win a championship.
yeah. So obviously
Kobe
LeBron
Bryant had to save him. He's the alpha dog. LeBron's not an alpha. Can't be the best player on the championship team shooting free throws like that. Sorry.
Kobe also shot 58% from free throw.
Hey, relax.
Yeah, well, Kobe would never win. Kobe's never going to win another ring without Shaq, so it doesn't. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that.
Oh my God,
winning championship days are over.
LeBron shot worse from the free throw line than Dwight Howard. Yuck.
Hey, this is why Dwight Howard beat the Cavs and went to the finals, and that's what it is.
That did happen. That is the thing that happened. People forget.
People forget.
People forget that Dwight did do that.
NBA champion Dwight Howard, by the way.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's true. He is a champion now.
Bubble champion.
I'm not used to Dwight Howard being a championship.
Ugh. Dwayne Wade, 16 points in 18 minutes a game. LeBron James, 15, 5, and 4, and 2 steals and a block every single game. And Kobe Bryant.
The most disrespectful blocks you've ever seen in your life, by the way. They didn't spend enough time on that.
Yeah, I wish they would have spent more time on like the and oneness of it, where they were just literally like tossing it between. And he was coming out from the ceiling and blocking. And it was just like, where did this dude?
Just throwing people's shots off the backboard. It's incredible content. Holy shit.
There was a moment in time, and I know we're going long, but like there was a moment in time where it was like right when he hit the heat, like when, you turn 20, like pro athletes, when they turn 27, 28, they hit their peak athletically. And there was a moment in those playoffs, in one of those playoffs, where an announcer said, "Oh, I just realized that LeBron just hit his peak athletically, and so this is what we're seeing now." And I was like, "Oh, this is the best basketball player I've ever seen in my entire. This is the best athlete I've ever seen in my entire life." Because he was good forever, and then all of a sudden he matured into his body, and it was just unbelievable.
It was scary hours. Miami,
the scariest
Miami
thing.
Heat LeBron was the scariest thing of all time, bro. It was absolutely insane.
Go back and watch that 60-point game. It's on YouTube. The 60-point game that he had with the face mask. He's the best basketball player I've ever seen. It's just like it defies logic how you could be that big and that fast and jump that high. And he was just doing that, but he was doing that on the national stage, and he did it in 2012. I think that it was a little bit closer, but that 2012 team may have been even nastier.
The stuff that Kobe was doing, even in the few, it's not like you see a lot of basketball in the movie, but the way that Kobe was finishing at the rim was like he was just going to the rim with no hesitation, no fear, just throwing shit up, and it was just going in. Like he was just hitting. Like when Kobe hits the dagger, the way they set it up is like Kobe comes down and hits the dagger. The way when he hits that three and shushes the crowd, like that is peak Kobe Bryant. It's like, yeah, we all knew Kobe was about to do that. It's not even like a surprise anymore. Like even at that point in his career, we all knew like this is what Kobe does. He's gonna hit a shot. He's gonna shut everybody in the crowd up. He's just look at y'all because he's a fucking serial killer. He's crazy. He lives for moments like that. He quite literally lived his life for moments like that where he can just go make everybody look stupid and just walk back down the court. And to just see it play out play by play was just phenomenal to see. And obviously, anytime you're watching Kobe play basketball, it's just fun, especially because he's not here anymore. Like it's a singular experience to have witnessed the peak of Kobe Bryant. And so to revisit that in a small portion in a way that's just international, but still very fun was just dope as hell to me.
Yeah, United States. So these were the games, and we'll wrap it up. These were the games for the United States in the tournament bracket. Obviously, they won. They beat the piss out of these teams in the prelims. 101-70 over China, 97-76 over Angola, 92-69 over Greece, 119-82 over Spain, 106-57 over Germany. And then it goes 116-85 over Australia. They kind of play this one up in the documentary. 101 against Argentina. Like, this is the big game. Like, they gave us some trouble there in the second quarter. They beat them by 20 points, 101-81. And then, of course, Spain was actually a game, 118-107. But I wanted to bring this up. The United States. Let's see. The United States 2012 team. They were beating teams like they beat Argentina like 126-97, 119-86 over Australia, 109-83, and then of course, yeah, the final game was Spain, 107-100. But that was the emergence of Kevin Durant too. So that team, I think, may have been even
that's right.
Like, I know this is about the Redeem team, but go and look at the 2012 team, and you're like, oh, this is what this actually led up to, is the 2012 team with LeBron and KD and like Russell Westbrook. It was nasty. But yeah, so that has been the Redeem Team documentary. Go check it out. It's on Netflix. Hopefully we'll do a actual, narrative film here relatively soon. But that is that. Let's do our draft, because this is a very funny prompt from Dex. Dex, what was the prompt by you?
Basically, just anything that America needs to put together a Redeem Team for. Just call in all the best and brightest to go flex on the world and let y'all know we the kings of this shit. Like, forever. Don't fuck with us.
So this can be anything. This can be sports. This can be anything political. Like, no holds barred.
Random activities. Doesn't matter. Anything.
All right. So let's go. Okay.
Dex, I went first last time, so yeah. I think Tej went last.
Okay, I haven't been first in a minute, so I'll take this one, to be honest. I'll go me me Teach Dex. How about that? We'll just flip it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, Teach, and Dex. Okay, so my number one, and they've been trying to do this forever. And really, I mean, it kind of is looking like it's the best that we got right now, but we need to figure out a way to have a redeem team or even just a dream team for USA men's soccer.
Hell yeah.
Get it together.
We fucking.
What are
need
we
it bad.
doing?
That's a great answer.
Hey,
What are
we're
we
on our
doing?
way, bro. We're on our way.
Are we though?
Dude, when we get skunked by Britain in these games in November, I'm gonna be it's gonna be nasty. This is gonna stink.
Hey,
It doesn't look good.
We just got to get back. That's all. We just got to get back there.
Give me like
We're
I don't
going to
know.
the World Cup, right? We already qualified.
Yeah, we did qualify. Thank God we
qualified.
did.
Okay.
We did qualify this time actually.
So hey, at least we redeemed ourselves that much.
Right, but the past two matches have been nasty. These are like you got to get just the elite athletes playing soccer. I don't care. Find a LeBron for soccer. That's what I'm saying.
There's got to be one somewhere. Somewhere there's the goddamn where's our Victor Wembanyama of soccer? Like we need him.
I need
This
that. All right.
generational prospect everyone loves and adores.
All right, Tej, what's your pick?
This is an easy one for me. We need the dream team of American podcasting to go against all the other countries' podcasts. We would cook. I would take America. I think America would be a huge favorite, and we would definitely win the podcasting Olympics. And if you want to send us America, if you want to send the One Take Pod to the podcasting of Olympics, we would crush it. We would dominate. We would bring home the gold for our country. So podcasting is my answer.
What would be the subject? What would we do? Would it be like
Doesn't matter. All of it.
doesn't matter?
No, the thing is, it's like that. You
They're the
sit
redeem
down
team.
and you sit in your little room and your little thing, and everybody's watching, and then the subject flashes on the screen. You immediately have to start potting about that subject on the fly, no notes. Just go. You got to
Like
be
a
able to pot about
decathlon?
anything. Got to be able to pot about anything, baby. That's the real podcasters.
Honestly, bro, this would be so fucking fire.
Oh man. That would be great.
All right, so I got two. One of mine is a sport. The other one is absolutely not. But for the sport, Formula One racing, I need Americans to be out here. Like we technically Haas is an American team, kind of, sorta, but they're very ass for the most part. They're getting a little better. Fucking 2021, they were absolute ass and didn't score any points. Now they can score points some, but don't challenge for wins ever. So we don't have an American Formula One driver at all. Haven't had one in almost a decade at this point.
I was gonna say since the 80s, right?
No, it's it was the 2000s. I feel like I might be misremembering that, but it's been a long ass time. But yeah, we need a Formula One team and driver to put it down for America.
I wouldn't know anything about this, so I wouldn't know anything about anything y'all talking about.
Nobody's
what were you
won
playing?
since the 80s, I don't think. Yeah, 78 was the last time somebody won. The most recent time a driver raced was 2015. So 7 years. But anyway, my other one is I feel like the Brits have gotten up on us a little bit.
The Brits might put up numbers.
They might have run it. They might have run away with it already.
That's why we need the redeem team, baby. We got to bring
I
it
would
back.
love to test this out.
I'm so tired of we got a fucking British man out here playing Fred Hampton and winning Oscars and shit, bro. Like we can't let this stand. No, get him out of here. Tom Holland
gonna play Fred
is-
Astaire. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, Tom Holland is like Peter Parker and Fred Astaire and shit, doing Brooklyn accents and all this other shit. Nah, get him out of here. The Americans need to run it back, bro.
Dating fine American women.
Yeah. Y'all let Tom Holland come over here and take a fine ass black woman out of America, got her over there turning tricks and shit in London. This cannot stand. God damn it. The
I love
acting
that.
redeem
We're
team.
gonna
We need it.
reclaim. We're gonna reclaim acting as an American pass, even though it like was formed in Europe. But like, yeah, that's fine. That's great.
Hey man, nobody talks about fucking, London like producing dope ass movies. Everyone's talking about Hollywood. They're talking about dope ass movies. We turn out the shit that matters.
We
Tom
might be
Cruise
playing for the
putting
silver
on
medal, bro. I don't know.
Tom
But we do
Cruise
have Tom Cruise.
putting on for the squad. You know what I'm saying?
We do have Tom
This man's
Cruise.
about to go to space and win that race for us too. So hey, we out here.
Tej, you're next. Let's do 4 this time so it looks better. Last time we kind of got caught up in like the 5 of it all, but let's do 4. Yeah.
Tej. Next is they need to have a dream team for NCAA football for 2014. I played hours upon hours upon hours of that game. If there's any way that I'm ever going to make it to the Olympics, this is what needs to happen. I'm not the greatest at video games, as some people might know, but I am particularly great at this video game because I played so much of it. I know all the fucking cheese things to do to score points on people. It's incredible. I have a control over that game that I've never had over any game, and I think I could make the Olympic team and go make America proud if we put this game into the Olympics. Obviously, we're probably 8 years too late, but
Nasty with the read option.
The first time some European picks you off with like the Miami of Ohio because they don't know who to play with, you'd be like,
if a Frenchman picks Bowling Green and puts me in the dirt, I'm gonna be disgusted. I'm gonna throw the game. I'm gonna break the game in half. I'm gonna sue EA Sports.
Hey,
those Frenchmen not gonna have nothing to say to me, brother.
The first time audibling the 4 verts doesn't work, I'm out of there. I got nothing else for you, bro. Like
mine was always the halfback sprint up the seam. No safety ever covered it. So it was just like, you'd be like, stop audibling to that. I'm like, sorry, stop it. I don't know what to tell you.
Go stop it, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Missed that game. Hopefully the new NCAA game can restore the feeling. But until then, I'm preparing for the Olympics on NCAA football 14. Let's get it.
Hey, bro, I'm so ready for NIL microtransactions and like copying XP.
I cannot wait.
The first time on Online Dynasty, I steal a recruit from Tej with a gold Trans Am. It's gonna be nasty.
I'm putting at least $300 worth of microtransaction into that game the day it drops, bro.
I ain't gonna feel bad about
so
it
much
either.
money out of me. I'm about to cheat, boy. I'm about to run it up. I need to cook in the Online Dynasty.
They got shit out of me for Madden
bro.
or 2K in years, but they drop NCAA football. They getting racks.
Yo, dude, if they make it to where you actually have to pay for the NIL money,
for
that's
recruits,
be
yes,
gross.
I'm paying.
I'm in. I'm paying them. I'm putting real money into there to get these recruits on my team, bro.
How do I explain? Y'all aren't married. How do I explain to my wife? No, babe, it's in the game. Like we just have to like
tell her he's a 5-star quarterback. He's gonna lead you to greatness.
Hey man, when Bly's out here beating people 70-0 the week before he plays me, I'm dropping $100 on that shit. Like, give me some better recruits, give me some better facilities, give me some better like.
I need all that shit. I need all that shit.
I'll pay for it. I can't go outside out here.
Unbelievable. Okay,
me and Sam Houston State are going to glory this year. God damn it.
Oh man. So. We need to put together a dream team for mass transportation. Put it together.
Bring back American subways.
Figure it out.
We're gonna lose.
We just don't want to figure out. Big Highway has people in their pockets.
Big Highway.
Big Easy Tag.
Yeah.
Big Highway.
Has people in their pockets getting like all we need is just to make it one more lane. That's all we need. One more lane. I promise you there won't be any traffic. One more. And it's just like make a train. Make one train. You know? I feel like if we put all Pete Buttigieg, get it together and make a redeem team to get us back on track with bullet trains in America. Yeah, look, Texas is as big as Germany. They are lapping us in
That's crazy.
in mass transportation. Get it together. Give me a train from Houston to San Antonio through Austin to Dallas. Do it right now. It's not that hard. Actually, it's very hard because we don't have any.
It's very
infrastructure.
hard, but y'all can do it if you want
But
to.
y'all can do it if you want to. Put my tax dollars to that. Give me a redeem team. Put it all together. Figure it out. We need to school Europe in this. My next thing is fine dining. I'm tired of people lapping us in Michelin stars. Why is this happening?
Yeah. Great British Bake Off? I think not. Like, come on.
I'm tired of seeing Gordon Ramsay on my TikTok feed. Give me an American redeem team. Put the best of the best together. Whatever that dude is from the French Laundry, and we're gonna get our Michelin stars back. God damn it! Like I need this. I need America to be the home of fine dining. I can't eat there. That's fine. I don't have enough money, but I want to be obnoxious
At
about
least
it.
know that it exists where you live.
Yeah, I want to be.
You could go.
I want to be obnoxious about it. The French are like, you have to come here for like the good cuisine, and you're just like, shut up. You ever been to San Antonio? You ever been on the
This is
Riverwalk?
gold medal right here, pal.
Yeah.
Good old American gold medal. Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, Guy Fieri gonna come in like Kobe Bryant and lead us to glory. The mayor of Flavortown is here. God damn it, to redeem American cuisine. Let's go.
Need that. Put it all together. Get us back on track.
For mine, I'm gonna go tennis. I've been on a big tennis kick. I've recently started to play tennis, and I realized how fucking impossible it is to play. And also that amazing tennis match a couple weeks ago when the U.S. Open was happening. I've been really in my tennis bag. I would like to see the American tennis players versus the rest of the world, which I guess already exists because they play tennis in the Olympics. Does that exist?
Yeah, they do.
They play tennis?
Yep.
Okay, never mind. That's a bad answer then. They already had, but we need the greatest tennis players to have a redeem team because I'm sure the U.S. didn't win the last tennis, whatever the tennis thing was. I'm sure we did not win it. There's so many great tennis players in the world.
Couldn't tell you,
but we need a redeem team. Send somebody over there to go clean that shit up because we got new and up and coming blood. And that Spanish kid, that kid from Spain, is about to be dominating everybody and everything in men's tennis. So we're gonna have to stomp him out right now before he becomes him because he looks like he is becoming the next big thing.
That kid is the best tennis player I've ever seen in my entire life.
He is ridiculous, bro. He is absolutely ridiculous. He's so fun to watch. He's going to be fun to watch for the next 15 years of playing tennis. He's ridiculous. But he ain't American, and we got to get it back in blood, bros.
We got to get it back in blood. I need the days of Andy Roddick and them back. Like, restore the feeling.
We can find so many people with 150-mile-per-hour serves. I just know we can. I know
we can. They're out there. We just gotta find them. We just gotta
get those dudes that throw 120 in baseball and like figure it out. Like whatever they're doing, figure it out for tennis.
Hell yeah.
You can figure it out. Same motion, right? Like, sure, whatever. I don't know anything about tennis. People are screaming at me. They're like, it doesn't work the same. Whatever.
Make it work the same. God damn it. This is America.
American exceptionalism is what we're going for right now. Dex, 2 picks.
All right. So mine are pretty similar, but they're different. My first one, I'm gonna go with fashion. Like, ooh. I'm tired of all these fucking European brands like being the hot shit. Give me, the Tom Fords of the world and all the, like, Austin, Texas' own, shout out.
Yeah.
And all the little black girls out here innovating and shit. Put them all together in one dope ass brand. Give me like Pharrell and shit. Hold it down for America. And make us a dope ass fashion brand that's shitting on everybody else that everybody knows is the hottest shit out. Like, I need that.
Tommy Hilfiger coming in like Jerry Colangelo.
Fucking Ralph Lauren. Like, I need it. Like, give me, put it all together. Kanye, you can't come now. RIP. But everybody else, I need y'all out here together to hold it down for the squad. Like, New York Fashion Week is getting shit on by Paris. I need y'all to get it back in blood. And my other one, this is something we could literally never win, even if we like put all of our will into it. But watchmaking, like, I just want, like,
oh hell no,
all the American brands, like Fossil, like, get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? And
stop making $25 watches that Roy Ogletree can afford.
Stop making shitty $25 watches that don't work for more than 3 months. I need you to put your shit together. We got to shit on Rolex. We got to shit on Audemars. We got to shit on fucking Patek Philippe. All of them. I need fuck Switzerland. America needs to be the dominant watchmaking country. Like get your shit together, everyone. God damn it.
Have you seen the Swiss watch? No, but I've seen this Bozeman, Montana.
Hell yeah.
And they're like, what?
Whatever you got to do. All these Swiss companies are like, oh, the astronauts wore this on the moon, or this can survive in 7,000 feet of water. I just need like some American company to be like, well, this one files your taxes and shoots fireworks and keeps perfect time. So suck my dick. Like that's what I want.
Oh my god, that's incredible. The watch.
Are Apple Watches made in America? Does that count? Because if so, we about to be
designed in America.
I don't.
Yeah,
designed way up on them. If it's
designed in California and
designed in Cupertino. It is. I don't think a Apple Watch has ever been made on American soil.
I have a Rolex. It never once told me to get up off my ass and go run and go get my steps in. It's never done that, bro. It's never done that. So.
Rolex can't call the emergency services if I'm in a car crash.
Did you fall? No, I just.
I need my Apple Watch to stop asking me if I fall every time there's a loud noise in my house. Like, bro, please stop it. I did not fall. I'm not old. All right, sometimes some shit happens. All right.
Mine only works if you hit the watch because I have fallen and it didn't do anything.
It didn't say shit.
Yeah, if I fall, you good.
After how many mistakes there's been, if I actually fall and it doesn't ask me did I fall, it's going right back to Apple. I'm taking this bitch back because if I've hit my hand on the counter, did you fall? No, I didn't fall, bro. It's like I hit my hand on the counter. Everything's fine.
Oh my god.
My last pick is going to be music because I like Bad Bunny like everybody else. I appreciate what he's doing, but now that I see that he's breaking records and being the biggest, best artist in the game, I can't have that. I feel like the Drakes and the Beyoncés of the world, if they saw this man direct one-to-one competition, would sun this man. And so we need to have all the American musicians
Drake
go over there with all their
American.
album
We can't
sales.
count him.
Oh shit, that's true. Drake doesn't even play for our country. Beyonce can hold this down. We're fine. We got Beyonce, bros. And we got Bruno Mars. We could really do some shit with Beyonce and Bruno Mars. We could go over there and represent. Canada only got one player on their team. Now Bad Bunny isn't Bad Bunny Puerto Rican, so technically he's American. Oh, we gonna cook, bros. We got this shit in the bag. We got this shit in the
Puerto
bag.
Rican. Can Puerto Ricans play? Or I thought they had their own national teams.
Oh shit! I think they do.
Oh
yeah. God damn it!
We don't. Won't tell anybody.
Puerto Rican
fucked now.
statehood, baby. Let's go.
I would like to see the Music Olympics. I'm not sure what it would look like, but I just know that due to American exceptionalism, we would cook. So we need to set that up so we can have more things for musicians to argue about.
Versus Beyonce and Bruno Mars versus fucking Bad Bunny.
Adele and Ed Sheeran.
Man, Harry Styles not making the cut for the English national team, and music is gonna go crazy.
Does Harry Styles still make music? Like, or did he retire from music, or is he just
he still makes
doing
music.
everything?
Yeah, like one of the biggest albums of the year this year.
His music far surpasses his acting ability.
Oh yeah, his
so
music
much
is
so
actually
that
decent for what
that
it
doesn't
is.
tell me much about the music because I know the acting is not great.
So much so that Dex actually enjoys his music.
Yeah, I do actually like his music. I just need to stop his cinematic agenda, and then it's gonna be like BTS and whatever second like K-pop band you want to put out there for the Koreans. Like the Music Olympics will go crazy. We need to make a bracket.
Blackpink.
Hell yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. So that is a great one, Teach. My last one, I gotta add another sport just because it's so funny to think about. American football.
We
don't even need a redeem team. We just need a dream team for this one.
No, you can just send like the Cleveland Browns. Just send the Cleveland Browns. They're gonna clean up the whole world, bro. We don't even gotta.
Just imagine, like, you're trying to teach a country how to play American football, and it's like, okay, guys, like Olympics, your first prelim group stage game. You have to block Aaron Donald. You have to try and tackle. You have to try and tackle Lamar Jackson. You have to try and guard Stephon Diggs. Let's see how this goes for you.
Good luck. We
JJ,
playing China in our first game. Oh, what, guys? Lamar Jackson about to have that Chinese defense in absolute hell.
Bro, Lamar Jackson cooking like some random Chinese people. Like
I need to see this. That would be
the
hilarious
greatest
television.
Olympic highlight ever.
JJ Watt all hyped up on patriotism. Like, oh my God.
JJ Watt playing for king and country. Like, oh my
You got a Bosa brother on each end of the defensive line, just destroy quarterbacks in the name of America. They are just torturing people.
Making sure they stand for the national anthem. Oh
Nick
my
Bosa,
God.
3 sacks. The other Bosa, 3.5 sacks in the first game. Like, they're just dominating the shit out of these pure. Oh, we're playing Norway. Oh shit, the Norwegian offensive line is all injured. They're literally all injured.
Just random Brazilians trying to tackle Derrick Henry, bro. Like,
that would be hilarious.
You imagine Miles Garrett, like somebody from Switzerland has to block Miles Garrett. They're like, God damn, what did I sign up for?
hey, the Australians got a punt on every single drive, but they're killing it. With
They're incredible at punting. It's awesome. If we just play the field position battle, we won't lose by 100. Oh my God. You think Tom Brady would come in like Kobe? You think he'd still be playing at like 48?
Tom Brady would have to go out.
Tom Brady's
there
not missing out on a chance
medal.
to win a gold medal. He's not missing out on that. He's leaving his family again. I know that I retired, but now they have football in the Olympics. I got to go over there. I'm sorry.
Bro, even if they sent them out there to play like 7-on-7 and they're like, okay, you got to guard Tyreek Hill. Like, hell no.
They do. I saw it. It's popped up on my YouTube feed. It is an Olympic sport that is flag football, like 7-on-7 flag football, which
First string quarterback, Mahomes. Second string quarterback, Josh Allen. Oh, man, Mahomes is out. Oh, Josh Allen is in now. Oh, shit. The offense is still moving.
I think it's like I don't think it's a full field. I think it's like a 75-yard field. He just chunks it the length of the field.
Tyreek
Just
Hill
like-
runs down the entire field in 5 seconds. Patrick Mahomes pass, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And then
I
it's
need this
like,
to happen.
oh,
That
the
would be-
Americans are up 172-0. They're bringing in Josh Allen off the bench. Now it's garbage time.
That would be the funniest football ever recorded, to see them just destroying other countries who have never played football until the day they announced that football was in the Olympics. Like, that would be amazing content.
Oh my God. The amount of like getting it back in blood that we would have to do for like getting destroyed in soccer from Great Britain or whatever. And we just do like, all right, now we're playing a real sport.
Yeah, now we're playing a real man's game.
And
Oh
let
my
you hit
God.
people in this sport. Y'all are fucked, Britain. Y'all are fucked.
I feel like they've floated that before, like in a like tackle football, because there is like USA versus other countries, and they play with, I think, college kids too. Even college football. I need that. That would be fun to watch.
You
too,
send
if
over
they-
Alabama against the pros, they still gonna beat the shit out of them. They gonna beat the shit out of everybody. They're gonna
Oh
beat
my
the living
God.
shit. Who's gonna tackle Jamar Gibbs? You're gonna see a random Frenchman try to tackle Jamar Gibbs. That's gonna be ugly, bro.
Oh
They're
God.
trying to fucking block Will Anderson. Like, hell no, man.
I can't do it. I can't. I didn't play this sport for most of my life. I can't do it. Sorry.
I learned what this sport was a year ago. I can't block this kid.
Oh my God. Okay, so that has been a one take podcast. I love when we get to do these drafts about sports. It's always the funniest thing.
An incredible last pick, man. Like, just imagining any
Phenomenal.
like American football redeem team is incredible. Just dominating every fucking one.
You can find us at a One Take Podcast on Twitter. It's the number One Take Podcast on Instagram as well as TikTok. You can follow us at Apollo HOU on all platforms. Popping off now with baseball season going on, with playoff baseball going on as well. Of course, we got a host of other podcasts on apollohou.com/podcasts. Follow college football. You can follow, of course, playoff baseball. Everything. Basketball is getting started up. Our Rockets podcast is going to be popping off here in a little bit. But yeah, and then you can follow at Watch with Apollo. You can follow all of our movie content there. Of course, it's kind of that we tweet like more news from that account. This is for shits and giggles on this is the funsies account. Of course, they do have some funsies on at Watch with Apollo, but you can follow us all. Those are all of our accounts. Go follow us on YouTube, specifically One Take Podcast on YouTube. Go like and subscribe at Watch with Apollo on YouTube as well. Like and subscribe there. And Dex, what are you working on? What are you writing?
Well, I just dropped a Tar review yesterday. That movie is dope. One of the best movies of the year, in my opinion.
The hype is real.
The hype is real, bros.
Wow,
it's some heat. I'm gonna go watch the shit again when it's in more theaters. It's only in one theater out here in Houston right now. That's like 30 minutes away from here, but next week it's opening up more places. So I'm gonna go see it again. That shit was fire. Cate Blanchett, definitely the favorite for best actress right now. I think it'll probably get a best picture now. It's really fucking good. But yeah, I just wrote that. I just wrote about She-Hulk and Super Soldier Serum over on Screen Rant. So go check that one out. And yeah, I have no idea what I'm gonna be writing next, but it'll be something. So just follow us on Twitter and you'll see it.
Teach, please don't flame Baylor too hard on the next Slander You podcast. I really
flame the fuck out of them, bro.
We're filming on Tuesday, bro. We're gonna have Baylor in hell. We're gonna have Baylor in hell. Evan has been telling a lot of lies about Baylor on the podcast, and they are coming home.
Bro, Evan talks so much shit about West Virginia. That's for us to go out there and get cooked.
He did.
Incredible. Unbelievable how much he was. They stink to Oklahoma State, and you're just like, dude, shut up, shush. Don't do this to us. Please don't do this.
I cannot fucking wait. I can't wait.
Hey, college football season is over as far as I'm concerned.
Basketball school.
We're a basketball school. And, you know, that's all it is. Shout out to this is a baseball podcast also. Playoff baseball, very important.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, go Stros.
And the Yankees won today, so I'm going to say yes to the playoff baseball.
For now, our next episode could be very different.
It could be very different by their next episode. Or the Yankees could be up 2-0 against the Astros by the time we record. I would love that.
We take forever to record on this podcast now, but
the fucking Yankees Astros series might tear this podcast apart. I can't lie.
Infrequently as we record and just be like, nah, I'm done.
Please, do not embarrass me, please, I'm begging.
You can find some of my stuff. I'm working on the big one too. We're going to talk about all things Big 12 football and how Texas won and now Baylor lost. We're going to be talking about that on the big one too on 365 Sports on YouTube. So go follow that. Also, going to start playing it right now. 2K. PGA 2K24 review coming soon.
I'm about to buy that game. I can't wait to jump into that.
From yours truly, that review is going to be up on Hardwired, another show that I do with Andrew Hamilton about video games. So that review will be coming down the pipeline very soon. So I'm kind of getting paid to play video games, which is really cool. But
yeah.
I'm gonna have to get on and play with you. I like those PGA games. Those games are so peaceful and hard as hell. Those games are so hard.
So hard. I mean, they're peaceful until you miss a 5-foot putt and you want to throw you want to throw your controller through your screen. But other than that, they're great. So this one has Tiger Woods. So yeah, that's awesome. And Michael Jordan. So we're gonna be playing that. And yeah, so that'll be out on Hardwired on YouTube. Thank you so much for listening, liking, subscribing. Go rate us 5 stars. Really appreciate that. Dex, as always, what are we doing?
# support Florence Pugh. We out here. The Wonder coming soon to Netflix. Let's go.